I'm Leyla. I'm 16. I find life exciting and super interesting. Just like other girls, I have lots of questions about all sorts of women's issues. Some of them have already been answered by girlfriends, my sister or my mother. One of them is, why do women and girls actually go to the gynecologist? Some reasons are birth control, cancer checkup, pregnancy, pains, irregular menstruation, abortion, and other questions. But there are still some things I'm not quite sure about, so I decided to ask a gynecologist. What happens when you visit a gynecologist?
Zuerst mal reden wir einfach. Das Mädchen oder die Frau erzählen mir.
Well, first we just talk. The girl or the woman tells me about her problems and I ask her some questions. Then we find out together whether it makes sense to carry out an examination, because it's not always necessary. Sometimes it's enough just to talk, to clarify things, and to find out what the woman needs. If necessary, we carry out the examination after having discussed all important issues. Then I talk to the girl or woman again and explain what I found and how we should continue. We discuss these things and I answer any remaining questions.
Auch nochmal Fragen gestellt werden.
There are special chairs for the examination. They might look different to each other, but are basically all the same. I know that a lot of girls think the examination is going to be unpleasant the first time around, but the doctor was very understanding. She even let me sit on the chair just to try it out, and it was actually quite comfortable. I would also like to know, when do I have to sit on the chair to have an examination?
Ich entscheide das.
If an examination is necessary, it will only be done with the girl or woman's consent. An examination does not always have to take place. It depends on the kind of problems there are. For instance, if we need to look for a disease in the vagina or womb, or they want to have a smear test for cancer. For this, I need to insert a speculum into the vagina, which is a small instrument with two metal side plates. The side plates can be opened a little so that I can see inside of the vagina and cervix, which is the lower part of the womb.
And what if a woman is afraid to lose her virginity?
Wenn es tatsächlich darum geht,
If a woman is afraid of losing her virginity, I would very rarely perform a vaginal examination, because it's not really necessary. For example, if a woman has never had sexual intercourse, she generally cannot have an infection in her vagina or womb. But there is also a very small specula which is used to examine children. By using this, the hymen cannot be damaged. This means that if it is important to have an examination, it can still be carried out in a way that ensures that the hymen remains intact.
wir machen, dass jetzt das Jungfernhäutchen nicht beschädigt wird.
And what is the hymen?
Tja, das Jungfernhäutchen, das ist gar nicht.
Well, the hymen, it isn't so easy to describe what the hymen is, but basically, it's a small membrane at the entrance of the vagina, just a small skin fold surrounding the opening.
Einfach so eine kleine Falte der Haut.
Does it look the same on all girls?
Every woman's hymen looks different, just like women differ in other aspects as well. Of course, it also changes depending on a person's age. The hymen of a child looks different from that of a young or old woman. It also changes if a woman has given birth. You cannot actually tell by the hymen whether a woman has had sexual intercourse or not. Many people think this is the case, but as a matter of fact, you cannot determine this by looking at the hymen. Some women have a very small skin fold and some have a larger one. Usually, its edge is not smooth. It can have a variety of notches and waves. With some women it's more rippled and with others it's less. This can also vary.
Okay, so there are lots of different shapes, but most hymens look like this. Do all girls bleed the first time?
Das ist auch eine ganz wichtige Frage, weil
That's an important question. Surveys have shown that after interviewing many women and girls, only about half of the women bled when they had sexual intercourse for the first time. This is because, with some women, the hymen is quite small and elastic, so it doesn't necessarily tear when women have sex for the first time. The interviews also revealed that probably women who are more relaxed hardly ever bleed. And if women are tense or feeling insecure, or if they are afraid, they are more likely to bleed.
Und zum Beispiel Angst haben, dass es dann häufiger blutet.
Well, now that I know more, I can tell you that even though most girls and women feel insecure about visiting the gynecologist for the first time, you really don't need to be afraid. Let the physician explain to you what is being done and why. You can decide yourself which of the examinations should or should not be done. If you're insecure or only speak little German, you can always take someone along to support you. If during the discussion you realize that you do not like the physician, you can leave without having an examination.